Hello everybody, welcome back to week 3. So this is going to be our week 3 walkthrough video. It's going to be a little bit shorter than our previous ones, not a bad thing. But I only have a few things to talk to you about this week, and it's primarily our first peer review session. So if you've never done online peer review before, I'm going to talk to you about how I format it for this class. And then the final draft of the précis is due this week. So up on my screen I have module 3, and you can see week 3. Here's all the things you need to do this week is the précis peer review, that's the main one, and then of course the final draft of the précis on April 19th. And then I have a few more resources that I'd like you to take a look at for just help with finishing that précis draft. First, it's what is a run-on sentence and how do I fix it? It's an online article. Something that can happen a lot with the précis is because you only get 4 sentences to write, what can happen is run-on sentences occur, right? Because you still need to get 200 to 300 words. So check out how you can edit that, and there are a lot of online tools to help as well. And then of course we have the précis prompt as a reminder here, and there are 2 samples on that document. So they're examples of really good précis. So if you scroll down in that document to page 2, you can see sample number 1 here and sample number 2. But they are really good examples not only of formatting but of the form in general for what the content for the précis is. Alright, so the main thing that I want to talk to you about in this video though is précis peer review. So we're going to click into the peer review, and the full directions are here, but essentially I've put you in random groups, and we have an odd number of people in this class. So we have one group of 3, everyone else is just in pairs. So you've been paired up with someone else in class, and what you're going to do is post your draft of the précis and leave each other feedback for what your draft has so far. Your response is going to be leaving inline comments. So what that means is leaving comments on Google Docs or in Microsoft Word, but also you're going to add a paragraph here that kind of gives a summary of your overall impression of their work. So here's what I'd like you to look at and leave feedback for the précis. So what's working well on the draft so far? What may need some editing and work? Do you have any suggestions? Think about grammar, especially run-ons and sentence fragments for the précis, primarily run-on sentences. Is it grammatical? Does it follow the précis formatting as outlined in the prompt? And then is the reference entry placed above the précis? It's a little bit different than a normal references page would be, but is it all hanging indented and formatted correctly? So for APA formatting, I do have a reminder about that I'll give you in a minute, but just make sure the document looks good to go. But essentially what I'm asking you to do is you're going to post your draft here. It has to be either a Google Docs link or a Microsoft Word document that allows edits. And that's really important because if it doesn't allow edits or suggesting, review and comments, the person can't leave you feedback for it. So make sure that it allows suggesting. It has to be posted by midnight on the 16th, and your feedback is due a few days later by midnight on the 18th. And I want to mention this because I get a lot of questions about this. So what your grade entails for this is, did you post it on time? Did you do feedback? And did you participate in general? And it's worth 25 points for this peer review. And if your group, I do want to emphasize, if your group member for some reason doesn't post, that's not going to affect your grade at all. So your grade is if you are able to participate. If for some reason your partner doesn't post, don't worry about it. It won't affect your own score. So just be on top of it. If you have any questions or problems posting, please let me know and I can jump in and help too, because I'll be able to post in any of the boards that you can view. And the formatting for peer review, so up here I have my screen's a little bit different than yours is going to be, but you will only have access to post your peer review draft in your group. So you won't be able to post it in anyone else's group. And here are the groups. You'll find out who's in yours once I make this live. But essentially, like I mentioned, you're with one other person. And we do have one group that has 3 people. The group that has 3 people, you don't have to read 2 drafts. You're just going to rotate and choose one other person to leave feedback for in that group. So that is the précis peer review. If you have any questions or if you have difficulty posting anything, please let me know and I can help you out with that. The other thing that I wanted to go over is just to make sure we're all set for the final submission of the précis, so the final draft. So after peer review is all done, the final draft you're going to submit on Canvas, it has to be a PDF or a Word document. So I can't open Pages files if you have a Mac. It needs to be one of those file types, and it can't just be a Google Docs link for this one. It needs to be an actual submitted file. And then I have listed here, this is the APA submission guidelines for this class. All of your documents for our class will have an APA style cover page. Here's what it looks like, and it's a template that you can download yourself. But that's what a cover page looks like. So that's all I need for this one, is a cover page. And that's it. So that's it for week 3, is just the peer review session. And the feedback you're leaving someone else and receiving, and then submitting that final draft. If you have any questions or you want to talk before the final version is submitted, please send me an email and I'd be happy to go over your draft with you or answer any questions you have. So good luck with week 3.